microservices, right? Whenever we are working with microservices, you see now right now how we configure, we are configuring service level, right? So each service has um, its own configuration. So we don't have any centralized configuration concept, right? So we don't have any centralized configuration concept. So what we can do, we can address this issue by using cloud config server. So now what we will do, we will create a separate server, okay? So which manages our configuration. So that concept is called Spring Cloud Config Server. Okay, Spring Cloud Config Server. It's going to run independently, right? So you don't have any dependency with existing application, right? So it's going to be Spring Cloud Config Server, and you see, uh, yeah. So and there is a dedicated port actually according to the Spring Cloud standards. So you are most probably the predefined server port for Spring Clouds and config server is 8888 8888, right? So it's so all these services are going to be connected to this Spring Cloud config server, and we no need to restart any applications. So they will be reading dynamically. Okay, so they will be reading dynamically, and we can update the values on the fly. We can even update the values on the fly. So that is what is the benefit we are going to get when you use Spring Cloud config server. Okay, and it supports so many things. So it supports Git repository, it supports SVN repository, it also supports Hashgraph, some vault something is there. I don't remember that exact string. So it also supports some feature from Hashgraph. Okay, it's anyway, it's not for free of cost, right? Hashgraph, but it works fine with the Git. Okay, it works very fine with the Git. So that is what we are going to try. Okay, so by using Git, we are going to manage our configuration. So till now, what did we do? For example, let's get into this mobile service, right? So in the mobile service, what did we do? We are just simply, yeah. So we are simply using application.properties file, and there we kept all the required things, right? So application.properties. So there we kept all the things. So now what we will do, uh, we will move this configuration into a separate properties file. We will move this configuration to a separate properties file, and we will load this configuration dynamically, right? So we will load this configuration dynamically. So what should we do? We should create a config server, and we can our service is going to talk to the config server to retrieve this configuration. Okay. So let's quickly create one config server. File, new Spring Starter project, and you just click. Let's give mobile config server. Let's give the name as server. Okay. So description also mobile config server. And here also let's give mobile.config.server, right? So mobile.config.server. Click next, and we need to add config server dependency. You just select config. Yeah, so you just click on config server, right? So click on config server, finish. So the project will automatically created. And you get project imported into Eclipse just few seconds. Okay, it's pretty easy. It's pretty easy playing with the config server. Okay, there is only one annotation we are going to use, that is at enable config server. Okay, so the annotation is at enable config server. So let's quickly add that part. So let's add at enable config server. Yes, you can just select that part. Um, why it's not coming. Please try one more time. Yeah, here we go. So config server, right? So that particular annotation, not cache, config server. So it will automatically create one config server for us, right? It will automatically create one config server for us, and we should give some name to our application. We should give some name to our application. So Spring. Can we do one thing? Can we start using YAML file? I mean, till now we are playing with the properties, right? Let's start doing some YAML configuration also. So
Yeah, Sunil.
let's do save it as YML. So it's a YAML file. Right. So we know, right? So it's going to be like some two spaces separated. Yes, Spring dot application dot, right? So it automatically shows that list. So you type application dot name. So it automatically set up that string for us. Yes. So here we need to give the name for our application. So let's give config hyphen server. Okay, config hyphen server. Yes. Along with that, we should also say where is our config server properties are present, right? What is the part of the Git repository? So what we will do, we will quickly create one Git repository. We will quickly create one Git repository. So education Git. Okay, let's create it here. Uh, yeah, so let me create it here, right? So inside your folder, so let's quickly create config server, right? So config server Git. Yes. Okay, so inside this, let's create some folder for mobile service, mobile icon service, and here we will. Okay, so here what we will do, we will create a file, right? So we will create a file. So let me git bash it here. So let's do touch application. Touch is a Linux command which will help us to create the files. So I will use that command touch application dot properties. So the file will automatically created. Just you do ls, you see touch, right? So let me do vi application dot properties. Vi is a command, Linux command we use to edit the files, right? So let's do it by using vi command. Okay, let's add some message, right? So simple thing, very simple. Some message we are going to add it. So welcome to Spring Cloud config server and save the changes. To save the changes, press escape and do colon, right? WQ exclamatory icon. So that's how, that is what is the command which we use to save the file on Linux. You just save this and the file will automatically add it here, right? Yeah, right now we are already on the Git branch, right? So, okay, I think this is not the correct place. So let's not use that repository. Let's use a different repository, right? So let's close this. So let's create a fresh repository, right? So let's take this file and put it outside. Okay, so you can put it here. Yes. So let's keep bash it. Let's keep bash here. Uh, okay, sorry, I forgot the name of the file. Name it's going to be mobile icon service dot properties. Okay, so whatever the file, whatever the service you are going to refer, so the file name is going to be the same thing. So we can put it outside itself in only separate folder. Okay, yes, it's going to be mobiles dot mobile hyphen service dot properties file. So what is your service application name? That's going to be your properties file. That's going to be your properties file. So let's do git bash here. So this is not a Git repository, it's a simple folder and which has this file. So let's make this as a Git repository. So to create a Git repository locally, we should use a command git init. So it becomes a Git repository automatically, and you check the status of the Git repository. There is one file which is showing in red in color, which means that file is not added. So let's add the file. into Git repository, and now you see that the color will be changed from red to green, which means the file is added into Git but not yet committed. So that's why it's in green color. Okay, now let's commit it. So let's say git commit -m and do save the file so demo for right, so demo for config server. Yeah, we committed. So we have a repository which has one file, right? Which has one file which we committed into it, right? So there is only one particular commit. We did it. So and the name of the file is mobile-services, and this is what the change which we added, right? Yes. So now let's do one thing. Let's quickly git we have master branch. Yes. Now what is the present working directory? So git config git server. Yes, we need this part. Okay, so we need to configure this in our application properties file, right? So there is one dedicated command which we need to use, and there is one dedicated property which we use to configure this URI. So I think Spring slash config. I think it's a cloud, yeah, cloud config git URI. Something will be there like that. Okay, please check it out. Okay, let's do one thing. Cloud. Let's go to the next level. Okay, in the next line, put the config. So automatically showing config, and okay, so then config dot, yes, config server dot git dot URI. Yes. So here we need to give the URI of the git, right? So we can, as it is local, so we should give the local path. Okay, so we should give the local path. So we should say file colon slash slash, and here is my git server, right? So here is my git server. So this is how we should configure local git repository. But you can also configure remote git repository, but you need to give the username and password. So I will show this as demo. You try with remote. So it's just a URL change, and below you see a username and password option. You just provide your username and option. Okay, you just see some username. Right? So git URI. Then oh sorry, not here itself. Mm, if I do control space, it will show under git whatever we have. Uh, But if I come to the config level and do control space, it will show under config what are all the things are allowed, right? So this is coming under where? Which level? Okay, so profile coming under server. But anyway, we don't want to.
Sunil, there was something like server git password, Sunil.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do here. Yeah, if you put it in exact level and control space, it shows, yeah, password. It will also have some username. Yes. So if it is a remote, you should give username and password. Okay, username and password. But anyway, it's not the best way to do it. But in the real time, you see some private key. Private key is used, or security token is going to be used. So that is what is a real time scenario. But we don't want to go to that level, right? So just I want you to, I just show local. You just try with hard coded password and username on your local machine. Hard coded username and password. Okay. So now this is how we do configure Git. Okay. So that's it. We are done with setting up our config server. We just do control. The shortcut is control F11, functional key 11. So if you have Windows, it is a shortcut to run your Java application. instead of doing right click run as Java application, you can just simply do control functionality 11. So it asks how to run, select Java application. It's going to run just like the Java application. Okay, so once it's up and running, what is this off of? Okay. Oh, I need to give server port, right? It's running on 888 8080. No, let's use 88888, right? So let's go back to the main. So server, right? Colon in the next line, port, not address, port. So we should give port, two spaces, then do control space. We'll get to that, right? Port. So port is 8888, right? 4 8s, and then start the application. So you will see that the config server is going to run automatically. Port 8888 is already in use. Who is using port 8888? I think something here. Okay. So let's try that out. So did any one of you tried load balancing? Zool, Ribbon, anything?
No, those are it. This now we'll try today. I didn't get time actually yesterday to try.
Yeah, yeah.
Today,
Try it.
today, yeah, today I'll do. You need to do WebFlux Alpha. Gone out of my one again. I need to try.
So let's try to access that, right? So it's going to be localhost 8888 slash, right? 8888 slash. We don't give any path, right? So it's going to be direct, yeah, mobile service. What is the properties file name? Mobile service slash, what is the profile? Default. You will get the messages, whatever they are in the mobile service will be listed here, right? So here is the JSON file, and you see that message, right? So message, welcome to Spring Cloud config server, right? So welcome to Spring Cloud config server. It's better to send the request in the Postman so that you will get better idea how the response will be coming back, right? Yes. Yeah, so this is what is the source of that properties, right? So mobile hyphen service dot properties, mobile hyphen service dot properties. So now let's try to load this into our mobile service, right? So now let's try to load this into mobile service. So what should we do? We should add the dependency. Okay, so how we have config server dependency, the same way we have config client, right? So config client dependency. So it's better to add the dependency in our application, right? So let's go to mobile service form.xml file and add the dependency for config server client. So let's do add it here. So it's going to be what this Spring. It's not a Google, it's a cloud. Let me get that from Google. Uh, let's go to documentation. Okay, this documentation is not available. So control F. Okay, fine. Let's get that exact string. So string cloud config client, sorry, config client. Mm, there is form.xml things down here. So let's go to tutorial points or something and get that string. We'll see that happen. Yes, we need, no, it is called starter config. It's not server, right? Just getting doubt what version is using. Go to cloud, go back. This is one of the challenging part with cloud. So we should get the latest. So we cannot trust these people things, right? So they might try use Spring Boot 1, then it won't work for us. So yeah, it's better to go to the official documentation and take the latest. So which is the GA 2.2.3. Let's use it. So just say client.
Oh, it's there at the end. You go to the end, right?
Where you see bottom up.
In the index, right? There was somewhere at the bottom they have there.
Cloud config client. I want bounded XML snippet. If I create a new Spring project, I will get it. But okay, again, one thing. Let's go to Google and based on some date, time, we can take the latest one. So when this is created, no date, time, showing guide centralized configuration. You'll see this part. It is important what version we are using. It matters. So he is using 2.2.0. That's fine. 2.2.0 release. Okay. So this is server. Yes. Scroll down. Somewhere in the bottom you see client. Client. Yeah. It's a starter config, I believe. No client. Starter config. Let's try this. Okay. So we need to add this dependency. Um, in our mobile service, let's add this. Okay, cloud starter, cloud starter config. Yes. Now let's go to main.properties file. Okay, so there is one small thing which is new to us. Till now we are using application.properties, but whenever we are working with the config server, okay, so application.properties is not suitable to load details from config server. We are going to use bootstrap.properties. Okay, we are going to use bootstrap.properties. Just a minute, my mouse can. So which is going to be bootstrap.properties. Let's create that file. Okay, so bootstrap.properties is going to load while your Spring application is loading. So the difference between application.properties and bootstrap properties, application.properties loads after Spring container creation, but whereas the bootstrap.properties loads before Spring container. So if anything needs to be loaded before container creation, then it has to be bootstrap. Okay, bootstrap.properties. So configuration node needs to be loaded before our entire application is ready, right? So that's why we are going for bootstrap.properties. So that is there is some. I mean, this is something new to us. The bootstrap properties, and here two things we need to do. One is this name should be taken out from our application and put it in the bootstrap. Okay, and here we need to give one URL where is that server is running, right? So Spring Cloud. Okay, we'll do one thing. So let's mark this as YAML, right? Let's mark this as YAML file. So we thought to use YAML today. Sorry, not TML. It should be YAML, right? Yes, bootstrap.yaml. So let's remove this thing. It's going to be colon space application colon space name colon mobile icon mobile icon. I think it's defaultly YAML is getting edited by text. Yes. Okay, so till now we are good. So there is one small configuration we need to do to connect it to our cloud server, right? So I think it is Spring Cloud. Spring Cloud, two spaces, config, 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 go to the next layer, config, git, or else URI, okay, URI, yes, colon, so we need to, we need to say where is our server is running, right? So it's running on HTTP, colon slash slash local host 888 4. So here is our cloud config server is running. So don't worry. So you don't have two multiple cloud servers are running. It's only one cloud server. Okay, it's only one cloud server. So which takes care about entire project requirement. Okay. So now let's go to our code and try to
But
read.
the HTTP spelling is wrong.
Oh, sorry. This insert is enabled. So one I typed this killing the next character. Okay, fine. So http colon slash slash localhost 8888. So there is our config server is running. It will automatically resolve that properties. So now let's go to our file, right? One controller. So what I will do, I will load this. Okay, so we can directly load it by using get value, right? We can directly load it by using get value, and okay, let's stay like this, right? So dollar curly brace, and here we can say message. If the message is not loading from properties, just say default message, right? So we need to give this kind of structure for the data which is loading from the config properties, because we cannot guarantee, right? So there might be some chances the configs server go down or some other issue. You should plan with the default messages, right? Okay, so private string. Okay, so private string message, and just print this message. Okay, just print this message um, while when you call get mobile server. Okay, so just click on get system.out.println and just print that message, right? So message. So so let's start our mobile service and see whether it's loading or not. Okay, here it is, mobile service. Let's start one of the instance. While this is getting started, we could see something related to config server on the console. Okay, then we can think it's going to be loaded. Yes, resolving Eureka endpoints. Some other okay. Oh, we need Eureka server, right? So it's trying to connect it to Eureka. Let's do one thing. Let's start Eureka. Actually, in real time, the things won't be like this, right? Eureka will always running. In our local, we are practicing, so that's why we are always shutting down, but it won't be like this. And simple lightweights are also, it will run all the time. There won't be any problem. Okay. So let it be there like that. So now let's start mobile service and see, look into the console. Okay, so one very important thing is in the projects they don't use the things like this defaultly. They do customize a lot. You know, they implement too much customization here. So they write their own not config server, but yeah, almost kind of config server they write. So in the projects, you don't see this much direct way. So it will be like you see at enable server only. That annotation they don't change, but they change internal architecture of the server to load the configuration in a complicated architecture. Okay, so we are not going to do that part anyway. So do you see anything related to config here? So let's try that out. Nothing is there.
We just started the Eureka, right? You have to start config.
Oh, is 8888 is running? Discovery we started. Config server we didn't start, right? Okay, we need to start config server also. Okay, so let me start the config server. What happened? Config server is not started. Okay, I think already config server, yeah, it's running. Okay, then fine. Config server is already running. We started like a main method application, so that's why it's not listing here. Okay, done. So let's go ahead and try to access our mobile service, right? Get what method? Yeah, so it's a get on mobiles. So it's going to be mobile service icon mobiles. So let's do access it by using 8090, right? So 8091 MSK, not actuator, mobiles, right? So mobiles, that's it. It is just a direct get mapping. So yeah, and we are doing authentication also. Then let's enter it and see what is going to be printed on the console. Yes, welcome message. All right, welcome to Spring Cloud Config Server. I hope you are able to see this, right? So what is the default message which is in the background here? The default message. If in case if we stop this one, right? So config server, and you see that I mean we need to stop it anyway. It's like a one-time call. So let's try to understand what exactly is happening, right? So we got that details loading from properties, but there are some challenges you have with respect to cloud config server. For example, I will tell this. Okay, you your application is starting anyway. You don't touch cloud config server, or you don't touch Eureka server also. They are like once time like constant servers. You don't keep on touch them. Okay, so that is one thing which we need to remember. Okay, so now these are all the things we don't touch anyway, so let it be like that. So now what should we do? You know, we should we will be starting our mobile service. So when you start your mobile service, at that time, okay, your configuration is going to be loaded from config server. So based on this configuration, you just need to say where is the what is the port of the server which is running, right? So bootstrap YAML, there it is. The bootstrap YAML, you need to say where is the server is running, and you need to keep that cloud config client on the class bar. So automatically it will try to connect it to that, right? It will try to connect it to that corresponding cloud config server, and it will try to resolve the dependencies. It will try to resolve the properties. Okay, but there are few challenges. For example, if you restart your config server, or else if you update your properties. Well, anyway, this internally connected to our Git repository, right? So it internally connected to our Git repository, and from our Git repository, the properties are going to be loaded. From our Git repository, the properties are going to be loaded. So there are some challenges with the default. Okay, so you cannot expect that like if you do update the Git on the fly, the server, your service will get the value. No, it won't happen by defaultly. You need to do some changes. Okay, that is first challenge. So for example, you started, and after some time you say you have message something like ABC, and after some time you want to change it to XYZ. So don't expect that by defaultly the things are going to be like ABC is going to be changed to XYZ in your service. No, it won't happen like that. Okay, so by default it loads the properties, but it won't be updating it, right? So we need to do some change. We need to do a small change. Anyway, we will do it after some time. Okay, so the first challenge is update won't be automation, right? So it's not like automatically updated. On the you have to do one small change, and if you have multiple services like this, like same instance of multiple services are running, all these are going to read it from the Git. For example, you updated service one, but it won't reflect to service 2, right? So you updated service 1, so don't expect that the change also will be updated in service 2. No. So you need to update all the services. So what is the next challenge? If you have n number of instances, or it's like if you have 5 instances, then you need to do 5 updates. Okay, the first challenge is it won't be updated first. Okay, by defaultly it won't be updated. You need to do a manual trigger. That is the first challenge. Anyway, we have a solution for that. And the second challenge is if you have multiple instances running and you update only one instance, yes, only that particular instance configuration is going to be updated. Don't expect that 2 3 will be updated automatically. We need to do some change. But anyway, so what is the default behavior? So your application is going to load configuration from config server, right, by resolving your application name as a properties file, application name as a properties file. And look at our mobile service console, right? So look at our mobile service console. If you have profiles, for example, production, you have a profile, right? Maybe like for production you have a different configuration file, and of course you will have it, right? So for production you have something else, and for SIT you have something else, and for DIT you have something else. For example, let's go to mobile service. We are connecting to some MS SQL database. So do you use the same database for all the environments? No, right?
No.
We don't use it, right? So the database is going to change from environment to environment. So how can you handle that situation by using cloud config server? First of all, what we will do, we will slowly remove these properties. We will slowly remove these properties and put it in the Git. Okay. So first of all, let's start with 2, right? So let's remove these 2, right? These 2 are swagger, right? So these 2 are swagger properties. Let's remove these 2. Okay, so anyway, once you remove it, you will get some error. Fine, that's fine. We will stop our mobile service. We will stop our mobile service. We will also stop our config server, right? So we will also stop our config server. Just, just for a moment. Okay, so we stopped both. Now let's go to properties file and add those 2 properties in our properties. So what is the name of the properties? It's going to be mobile service dot properties. Yes, you just press I, so you can edit, insert the data. Yes, you can just copy and paste it here, right? Just copy and paste it here and just save it. Again, same command, WQ exclamatory icon, press enter, right, in the left bottom corner command, right? So colon WQ exclamatory icon, click enter. So this file will be edited. If you don't know the Linux commands, then fine, you go to that file and just do right click and edit with notepad plus plus, right? Edit with notepad plus plus and do it, edit here. Okay, still it works in this way also, right? The things will work even in this way also, but don't practice like this. Okay, practice by executing some commands, right? Maybe in the future you need to work on the Docker, Kubernetes, right? So it is good to learn the Linux commands. So they all use Linux commands a lot. So if you want to be in microservices architecture, you should also know the Linux operating system level commands, right? And from Windows, we can execute Linux operating commands from git bash. Okay. Yes. Now let's go to config server. Start the config server. Yeah, now let's start our mobile service. Okay, mobile service. So let's see. If the property is not resolved, you will get an exception, right? So where we are using those 2 properties in the common place. In the common we are using. So if those 2 properties are not resolved, you will see that exception printed on the console. So Okay, it started, right? It started. So there is no exception. Let's try to access our Swagger, right? Let's try to access our Swagger and just see 8090 slash msk slash Swagger, right? So Swagger dot hyphen UA HTML, right? Swagger hyphen UA dot HTML. Yes, so I think what's up? 8091. Sorry. Uh, So we need to give some authentication details, right? So let's get it from here. It's mobile users, save it. You see that Swagger is going to, what is this? No primary or default constructor found. Too much, some jar issue. Okay, so then it's fine. We don't want to look into that. Okay, so that's fine. So we cannot be able to get it from Swagger, but the things are working as expected, right? So the things are working as expected. It's okay. There is something related to some changes are happened on Servlet API. It's fine. We don't want to go that way. Okay. So now what we will do, we will stop the service and we will also move this um, security details, right? So let's move this security. Anyway, security we are not using, I believe, right? So security we are not using, or else let's move this database details, right? So let's move this database details. Control X. So let's go back to this one, right? So Git repository and put these details over there. So what should we do? If you are not familiar with Git commands or else Linux commands, you can do add it like this. Okay, you just save it. You just save it and come back and oh, got it. One very important thing which we need to keep in mind, every time you modify this file, yeah, I forget this one. Every time you modify this file, you need to commit the changes. Then only our application can recognize it. Okay, then only our application can recognize it. So without committing changes, okay, so the changes will not be recognized. So what you should do, you should do git status. Yes, so let's commit the changes. It's like 3 commands you need to execute, right? Git add star a hyphen a, it's fine, dot star a, any sub thing you can use with git add. You need to commit the changes, git commit hyphen m, and you can just give some message, right? So added db details, right? Added db details, yes. And you just do just committed the change. Yes, once you commit the change, go back and restart our mobile service. Yes, so every time all the configuration is going to be loaded at server startup time itself. Okay, so again you want to reload the changes, you need to restart. But after some time I will show what is the solution for that issue. After some time I will show what is the solution for that issue. Yes, for now let the issue be there, let it be like that. So let's do refresh for a couple of times, there is no problem. So see, it is connecting to the database, right? Still we are able to connect it to the database. So how the database details are got resolved, from where they got resolved? They got resolved from our config server, right? So they got resolved from our config server. So if we don't have the config server here, we would have been getting exception. Let's see that part, right? So let's see the exception scenario. Let's go to bootstrap YAML. Let's go to bootstrap YAML and let's do small mistake here, right? So it's running on 8888. Let's make 8889. So here the config server is not working, or else let's remove this config server setup itself, right? Let's remove this config server setup. So now no properties will be loaded from config server because we are not giving any setup. Okay, let's start the service and see whether you're gonna get the exception or not. So yeah, we should get the exception because the DB details and are not present, right? So of course it throws some exception saying that what I'm starting mobile service only, right? Fetching configuration. You see, it's still connecting, man. I got it. Latest version. It is by default going to that server. Got it. Spring Boot auto configuration is automatically connecting to the config server if the config server is running on port 8888. Okay, so that is a problem. Let's remove this dependency itself. Right, so let's remove the dependency. Right, so why it's getting connected? So we no need to do any extra configuration, guys. So from Spring Boot 2.0 onwards, if Spring Cloud server is running on port 8888, the default server, and you have this thing in the class path, right? So cloud config starter and the class path, your application will automatically connected, right? Your application will automatically connected to the config server. So now I will stop doing that. Select all. Okay. Now I will stop doing that. You see that. Okay, it won't be loading. Last time it shows, right? So connecting to cloud config server as a first statement, but this time it won't do that. So
But this 8888 is the default port, right, Sunil?
default port, yes.
Like Eureka, we have 887
Yes,
something.
8761. Yes.
8761.
Yeah. So you should remember like the passwords of pins of your credit card or debit card going forward. These pins. Yeah, you get this time exception. Yeah, because
Usually in real time, I don't know they will use default or not.
they use it. They use default only.
Okay.
Most of the times these things are default. You know, when they are default, so you no need to do extra configuration, right? So that is
That's
what
right.
I am.
But
So you
we
see
don't
this
know.
time, yeah, this time we got the exception. So what you can do, you can just add this dependency. You can just add this dependency in the form.xml file and restart the application. So our first statement is going to be loading the configuration from config server, right? So I think I'm clicking, but it's not taking my request. Let's do it for one more time. Mouse problem. That's fine. So what is the first statement? There it is, mobile service. Yeah, let's get started. You see fetching configuration from this, right? So fetching configuration from this, and it is loading mobile service. Profiles are default. Label is default master. Okay, master branch it's going to load. So that's how it is loading all those details and automatically connecting to the database also. Okay, so we can try this part also. It should work this time. I don't know why this is giving the trouble all of a sudden. Okay, so some Spring Framework HTTP server HTTP request something is problem. Okay, fine. So let's not focus too much on it. Okay, maybe some changes we made, right? So that's why it's showing that exception. Swagger open API changes. Okay. So, but still, our cloud config server is working fine, and we are able to load it, right? Yes. So now let's add few more spices to it, right? So what is the next level? Let's enable some profile, right? So let's enable some profile. For example, let's go to the folder, right? So we have only one property, right? So let's add few more. Maybe like today we are locally running, so local database. Maybe tomorrow we will be deploying in on DIT, so it will be connected to the DIT. Few days back, whenever we are discussing about profiles, I showed how the profiles are going to be resolved with respect to properties. Do you remember that concept? Then if I wanted to connect it to dev, what could be my application.properties file?
It will be dev, -dev.
Yeah, application dev.properties, right? And if you would like to connect it to SIT, it will be like application SIT.
IT.
So the same way, let's do it here. It works just like our external configuration model. So dev.properties, right? So dev.properties. Yes. So the same way you can do it yeah, here, like QA. Yes, of course you do QA.properties, and you can do production also, right? Production also. So let's quickly go ahead and run our service with the dev. Run our service with the dev, and you see it for dev. Let's give a different right. So let's give a different message, right? So welcome to Spring Cloud Configs dev server, right? So Spring Cloud config dev server. Yes. So now we made some changes. So don't forget to add and commit. This is the most common mistake we do it. Okay. So this part we need to take. I think some hyphen we have in the file name. Okay, so seems to be there is some space, yeah, space we have in the file name. So let's fix that issue. Okay, so now let's come back and do git status. Until you add these files, nothing can be done, right? Until you add these files, nothing can be done. So let's to add this part, let's to add this and do git add dot. Okay, so everything is going to be added. If you check the status, the details will be printed and green in color, which means the files are added. Yes, now let's do execute git commit -m and say profile specific properties, right? So properties. Now let's do committed, right? So let's go ahead and restart our mobile service. But this time, what should I do? I should start with the profile dev, right? I should start the profile dev, and you see that it's going to be connected. It's going to load dev. I think I stopped discovery again. Mistake. Sorry. Let me start it. Discovery first. Yeah, so meanwhile I'll show you how to change, right? How to change this here itself. So you have some pen icon here. It's edit. So let's edit that configuration, and in VM args you need to pass, in the arguments you need to pass spring -hyphen spring, do you remember that exact command? Spring dot profiles, right? Profiles dot active equals to dev. Let me check whether it's a profile or profiles. So the best place to check this thing, okay, the best place to check this thing, go to spring.boot.io, spring.io boot learn, because this keywords will change slight from version to version. Okay, from version to version. So this configuration is going to change. So what you should do, you should be very careful with that part. Okay, so better to go to official documentation and check. There is a dedicated section for application properties, right? You go there and just do Control F and Control V. You see that, right? So profiles are, yes, it is a perfect. So if you Google it, you may get wrongly directed, right? So you see some kind of problem. So here is the best place. All the details are going to be there. So yes, we configured profile as dev. Yes, and apply, close, and start test. Now we are going to start our mobile service with on dev profile, right? So you see that mobile properties dev is going to be loaded. So focus on the console part. The first statement is loading configuration from dev 8888, and you see profiles. Yesterday, last time it was default, now it is dev, right? Now it is dev. So let's see the message to make sure we are properly loading it, right? So we are properly loading it. So let's go to browser or Postman and send this request. And you see that message is going to be printed on the console like dev config server, right? So dev config. So just quickly send the request. Yes, message, right? So dev server, right? So that is how we can load a particular profile specific configuration also, right? A particular profile specific configuration also can be loaded. So tomorrow when you would like to connect it to a dev DB or something else, right? So nothing can be hard coded, and one benefit is actually right now we are restarting the server to reflect the changes, but I will show you how can we fix that issue, right? So there is one endpoint mapping we have in the actuator to refresh on the fly, right? To refresh on the fly, like this one, right? On the fly, this cloud config changes. So there is one slight problem we have. So that URL is changed from version 2 to 3. So let me check refresh config refresh, not Atlas. So many things. Atlas config refresh, no. Actuator, I think it should be actuator. So let's go to actuator and see what is the URL, not the prop. I'm checking wrongly in the application.properties, right? It should be an endpoint mapping in the actuator. So we should go to actuator and see what is the exact, okay, refresh. They didn't say anything here. Let's go to cloud config documentation and say it's probably. Control and actuator. Um, refresh for cloud config server. Hmm, so what is the URL? Control F. Yeah, actuator refresh, right? Yes, actuator refresh. So okay, so we'll do one thing. Okay, so we will try this out. I think it's actuator hyphen refresh or something. I don't know. I will try the both. Okay, if it is working, it's fine. Otherwise, we'll Google it again. Yes. So what I will do till now, any change we are doing, we are refreshing the server, right? So we are restarting the server. So then it is not the real benefit, right? So we're not supposed to do it, right? We're not supposed to do it. And what should we do? We should go to this particular part, our Git repository, right? For example, uh, where you have dev. Yes. So dev. So let's change this message, right? So welcome to Spring. Okay, welcome to Spring Cloud Config Server. Right? So let's say welcome to Spring. You see the changes. Without restart. Okay, so this is what is the message, right? So this is what is the message. So let's do change. Anyway, you have to do commit. Okay, so without committing, there is nothing can be happen. So you can do git status. You see that particular file modified. Just do git add and git commit. Okay, git commit -m restart. Okay, no restart example, no restart demo, it's no restart demo, and just to enter. Okay, so we committed the changes, right? So this time I don't want to be restart my application. I don't want to restart my application. Okay, so still if I hit it, you see that message is still old message, right? Still it's old message config dev server. So what exactly we need to do? We need to send this actuator refresh, and you see that automatically, right? Automatically the message is going to be changed. Okay, so let's send it from here. So it's going to be localhost 8091 slash msk slash actuator, but not health. It's going to be refresh. Okay, refresh. Yes. I think it's not this one. um, Get, I believe it's a post. I don't remember exactly. Let's try that out. Anyway, we need
Should we post?
security.
Should we post on this?
Yeah, I think it's a post. Let's try with get. Anyway, we will get error, right? No problem. So let's send the request. You see 405 or 415 Okay, method request is not allowed. That's fine. Let's change it to post. Yes, that's what I remembered. Yes, let's send the post request, and you'll see the message is going to be loaded automatically on the fly, right? Zoom, 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 zoom. Yes, right. So the message is loaded. Okay. The keys which are reloaded will be listed down here, right? So the keys which are reloaded will be listed here. So now let's go back and send the request. Last time what happened? So it says again registry, right? So it loads sorry, not registry. Go to our console. It loads the configuration from there, right? It reloads the configuration. Okay. So this discovery starts. Okay, so yes, now let's send the second request, right? Let's send our request, and you'll see that message is going to be changed automatically, right? You'll see, welcome to, hey, what happened? It's reloaded, right? Host actuator. Mm, we modified dev only, right? Dev.properties. Yes, dev.properties we modified. We committed also, right? Let's see. Let's open all three. So we don't have changes without restore. We have config server. We have it's a config server. Then from where we are getting it, go to mobile service and see Viveka. Yeah, so fetching config from server, mobile profiles. Okay, yes, it is reloaded. Bootstrap.properties configuration. Everything is good. Yes, mobile service hyphen dev dot properties is loaded. Yes, git config. Yeah, we committed, right? Git k. See, did we commit?
Yes, no, it was already committed.
Yeah, we committed. So what we have now, without restart changes to the latest. And from where we are getting this old message? So yes, we have latest. Let's send the request and focus on the console. Mm, Go to mobile service. Scroll down. Um, Here, go to Postman 8091. Send. Welcome to Cloud Config Dev Server. Hey, what is this? Um, we enabled that, right? So we enabled it and we got the success also. We enabled it. We enabled this actuator refresh. Yes, and we got success response. Okay. It showed, okay, let's do one thing. Let's try to load the configuration from here. Right? So mobile, iPhone service, um, I'm sorry, 8888, and it's going to be mobile service slash, okay, profile is dev. Sorry, it's not post, it is get. Let's send. Right, so message is what? Uh, yeah, you see the changes without restart. This is what is the latest. Okay, got it. Got it. Yeah, so we need to dynamically read these properties. Yes, one small issue. We're not supposed to use at value here. Okay, we're not supposed to use at value here. So at value is Spring container level, it's registering, right? So we need to read all the time from environment. Yes, that is what is the mistake. Let's do that change. controller is not reconstructing, right? So that's why it is not changing. I went into wrong workspace, so let's come back. Yeah, so get into mobile controller, get into mobile controller. So here the problem is at value, so it is only one time instantiating, right? So instead of doing this, let's use environments. Let's read dynamically on the fly, right? So at auto wag, okay, we will do that operation for one more time. So we will change the message for one more time, see whether it's working or not. So let's read it dynamically. So to read it dynamically, we need environment, right? So we need in the,
Already we have it, right? Sunesh? Above environment.
oh sorry, yeah, we can use it. Good. Yeah, thank you, Anshu. So it's going to be uh, come on, baby, come on. Yes, man, it's dead slow. Again.
I think you need to purchase Mac now. No, no, seriously,
Yeah,
that laptop, right? Whatever you will run, it performance will never get.
their RAM is 16 GB, I believe.
Yes, yes. No,
16 GB.
very fast.
Yeah,
I see.
says, and we can
Performance
use.
lagging will not have. Performance lagging is not at all there. Whatever you run, even you run 2 GB, whatever it is.
Yeah.
What is it?
So our application will restart. We'll do this operation for again one more time because the entire application is restarting, right? Anyway, we will get latest for sure. Entire application is restarting, so you will get latest for one more time, sure. It started, so if I send I will get latest anyway. That is not the success scenario, right? So we cannot consider the things are working fine. We need to do change for one more time, and we need to see, right? Yes, so restart is working fine, but it is not the correct way, right? So let's modify for one more time. So dev that property, so I will put it back to welcome to Spring config server. Okay, so config server. So this is dev environment, right? So dev environment. So let's be like that. And okay, so I'm not going to start it. Oh, anyway, we need to add and commit, right? We made the changes. So you do git add. Okay, so you do see git add. So git commit git status, and you do see git commit updated dev props. Okay, yes, so we added a new message. Yes, let's refresh, right? So let's refresh our config where it is, and we change here itself. Okay, so let's change it to post and 8091 slash msk slash actuators slash refresh, right? Yes, let's do refresh it out, and you get the latest message refreshed details here. It's taking some time to get it updated. It's fine. Message updated. Let's go to console, clear the console, right? So let's get into our mobile service console. Yes. Um, let's clear the console and send the request. This time we should get the latest, right? So this is dev environment, right? So this is dev environment. Let's do modify for one more time and refresh and see for better understanding. Let's do change it. Dev I'm changing, and I'm just making this as welcome to Spring config server. Just on the fly. I don't touch any code. I don't do anything. just to do it, but you need to do git add and git commit, that you cannot skip. Git add and git commit. Yes. Now let's go back to refresh, right? So let's refresh because we updated the properties file. So right now whatever we have in the properties is this, right? So right now whatever we have in the properties, it's better to start this discovery outside of this nursery, right? So earlier it was different. So before refresh, I would like to show you what we have. So we have this is dev environment, right? So this is dev environment. So what should we do? We should refresh and see whether, but in the properties we have just config server. So let's see, refresh. Let's just refresh. It will take some time to get it refreshed. We are not touching any code. We are not restarting any server. Right? We are not touching any code. We are not restarting any server. Now let's go ahead and try to access it. Let's go ahead and try to access it. You should get welcome to Spring config server instead of getting that dev, right? So instead of getting dev server, so let's go ahead and see last time what you got. This is dev server you got, right? So this is dev environment. So we deleted that part and we are going to try it. Okay. So you see message is going to change on the fly, right? So things are working as expected. Okay. So there are few things which we need to keep in mind. So one is at value. Don't expect the change will reflect when you refresh. So you need to dynamically read it from environment. Okay. And even this auto refresh feature, whatever you have here, it won't be available by default in the monolith, right? So in monolith, you have to manually restart or you need to write some program to take care of that part, right? Okay.
So Sunil, one thing, we did the here by going the and hitting that actuator refresh URL, right? So in real time also we will go and hit this endpoint.
Yes.
Okay.
Whatever you are doing here, you do in your company, no doubt on it.
Okay. No, just asking, like, do we need to write some auto script so that automatically, if we will run that, it will automatically trigger, like,
No.
going Postman and just to take the URL?
Yeah, that's it. Postman, send a post request. That's it.
Okay.
You give the script to the person who is updating the properties file. You will refresh. That's it.
Got it. Yeah, we just checking.
Yeah.
Like the same way we will do there also. We need to write some automation script or something. Like
Yes. Instead of manual, they put some curl command shell script written and executing. That's it.
Okay. Yeah, directly they can hit this also.
Yeah. Sending post request from curl shell script, right?
Yes,
That it will work. Yes.
Okay.
We are developer, that's why we are using Postman. They are DevOps, they will use some script to take care of that. Yes. So this is how the things are working, but still there is one more issue. If you have multiple instances, then you need to refresh. You need to send multiple requests.
So yes, different ports, you know.
So that is one challenge. So that part we will discuss tomorrow. Okay. So this is all about cloud config server, guys. Can you please implement this in the remaining microservices?
Yeah.
Okay, so I just showed one. Everything I'm just showing one example, right? Actuator, I showed mobile service. You need to implement it in the remaining services. Cloud config server, I showed one example. You need to implement it in your, yes. So what I will do, I will push this into remote. Okay, this properties also remote, and I will update the properties file. You refer to that, but like I don't put the username and password. So you have to create it in your own way. So this is a little complicated, guys. So whenever you are working with Git server, you need to give, if it is local, no need to, but if it is remote, you need to give the password. Okay, so this is a little complicated thing, but most of the people use this in the real time. Okay.
This config server Git you are not committing, right?
Committing. Remote you are saying, right? Remote I don't commit. Yes. You go through this record video and you try to
make your own.
This is little complicated when we compare it to all any other sessions. This is a little complicated actually.
Yes, sure.
Okay, but this is how
Webflex is also complicated.
Webflex.
Literally. Now I forgot. I have to go through again. I think it's difficult to remember. Concept I know, but context and all aren't able to keep in mind.
Yeah, so no problem. It is worthy. We are extremely good. We started almost all the world is yet to start. No, most of the people don't know this Webflex, these concepts.
And
Yeah,
now I'm seeing people started slowly seeing
slowly, yes,
some
it
new
will take some
videos.
time.
Yeah, some new videos on YouTube and all. I'm seeing now people started to focusing on website.
Yeah,
They don't
you
want
are at
all this.
least you are
They
at
don't,
least not that area, right? Not in that bad area. So
yeah.
you are far. I mean, you already completed all these things, and you are doing so many examples also. Do more hands-on, right? Yes,
That is
yes.
what.
For sure, the future is going to be that. Okay.
Yeah, seeing it already because people have started
I just
posting like
got one small blog. 1 second. So there is something. So till now we are just now there is something new came. Yeah. So from Spring. So there is one blog actually. So let's go there. So first milestone of Spring Data 20.0 got released, and he's according to that it is saying I told right from now onwards it's like every 6 months release. Go to blog. There is one latest blog.
spring that.
What is this? Spring news and events releases. I think under which section you put it? Releases. Under releases. Um, First milestone. Yeah, this is what. Just a few seconds back it came. So these people started supporting RX Java also. So scroll down. Something. Yeah, support for RX Java 3. So observables and all will work from here.
No, by default it will be available.
No. Earlier it was Project Reactor, right?
Yeah.
Monoflex.
Yeah, correct.
Monoflex. So no observable, no. So RX Java won't there. So just it started from now. Too many changes are happening, guys.
So
Drastic change.
that will be like Angular.
Yes. Every 6 months they are planning to do a new version release.
You will be too busy.
Learning or
Learning and
teaching?
teaching both
Learning or teaching, guys. Both.
both. You know.
But
Uh,
every day you are updating with latest technology.
you see this RTDBC also they did some change, man. Too much fast, too much fast. Every month they are releasing something. I don't know. This is really bad. When-
How much update 10%?
yeah. So so now I think every 6 months now this become trend now. I think it was started with Angular. Now Java also started doing that. Now Spring also started doing that. I don't know about remaining technologies. I am not following them. Maybe
Now Python also too much.
Python also too much.
They are changing so many things.
I don't know about Kubernetes. At least we Java guys should know all these things. Spring, Kubernetes, Docker, right? So Kubernetes is drastically growing, man. Just 6 years old it is, and it is now it's like mostly the hot in the market. Kubernetes, just
Yeah,
6 years.
DevOps guys because of Kubernetes getting paid also very heavily.
Yeah. So I
Properly.
recommend you, if you want to learn something, focus on the Kubernetes. It is worth for you guys. Anything new you would like to start. Okay. Yes. Okay. Thank you all. See
Yeah,
you
okay.
tomorrow. We have session tomorrow also. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same time, right?
Same time. Yes. No, there
Okay.
is no change in the
Okay.
time. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you all. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you all.